Hi, I'm Sam, Flying Kite, and welcome back to the Horror Show. This week, I'm reviewing the theatrical release of the 2010 remake of The Wolfman. Now, this is totally the first time I reviewed this movie. This is probably the third or fourth time, to be honest. Here in Body Bags, when I used to do Body Bags. But I don't think I sat through and actually did the theatrical release. Whenever I reviewed it before, it was the unrated version, which I find superior to the theatrical, and I'm sure most of the audience would probably agree to that. But anyway, I'm reviewing the theatrical because I feel like I should go and watch it through, because it's been a while, and yeah, I still like the unrated better. But anyway, The Wolfman came out in 2010. It is rated R, and it's about an hour and 43 minutes, with a 5.9 out of 10 on IMDb, and about a little less than 120,000 people voted. The budget for this movie was 150 million, and the box office was 142.6. So 142.6 million. So not quite that good, but I guess it actually kind of has an interesting production story. So I'll get to that a little bit. But it's directed by Joe Johnston, who has done some other stuff. I couldn't really tell you off the top of my head, but he has done stuff. And the music is by Danny Elfman. Benicio del Toro plays Lawrence Talbot. Anthony Hopkins plays Sir John Talbot. Emily Blunt plays Gwen Conliffe. Hugo Weaving plays Abilene, and you have some kind of cameos in it, like Asa Butterfield, Rick Baker, and Max von Sydow. But to be fair and honest, I shouldn't really include Max von Sydow because his cameo is in the unrated version. His cameo is not in this version, so that kind of sucks. But Rick Baker is still in both cameos, and Asa Butterfield is still. But if you don't know who Asa Butterfield is, I don't blame you. But then again, you might. He's in Ender's Game, and he's in he's one of the boys. I feel like he's the German boy in the boy in the striped pajamas. So you know him. And I never realized that he was in this. This was one of his more. This was a couple years after, I think, the boy in the striped pajamas. So that's I'm kind of surprised I didn't realize that. But you learn something new every day, I guess. The movie. Alright. Lawrence Talbot is lured back to his family estate to investigate the savage murder of his brother by a bloodthirsty beast. There, Talbot must confront his childhood demons, his estranged father, his brother's grieving fiancée, and a suspicious Scotland Yard inspector. When Talbot is bitten by the creature, he becomes internally cursed and soon discovers a fate far worse than death. Inspired by the classic Universal film that launched a legacy of horror, The Wolfman brings the myth of the cursed man back to its iconic origins. Sorry. I like the movie overall. I feel like if you made a top 5, top 10 list of the best horror movie remakes, it should be on that list. But I would say I could understand if it's not, because there's other ones like the Psycho remake, or the Invasion of the Body Snatcher remake with Donald Pleasant. Wait, no, that's not his name. Just Sutherland. Donald Sutherland. So there are really good remakes, and some people would say The Fly, which is probably, but still really disgusting. But anyways, I would put The Wolfman, or at least the unrated version of The Wolfman, in my top 5 remakes. I love this, but that's mostly because I love the original, and I feel like this movie does a good job of, I guess context. I love when a remake is either the exact same thing as the original, or it's slightly different. So, like, you know, still the same characters, still the same story or effective story, but there's something different about it, and it kind of goes in a slightly different direction. And I feel like this does a good job at that. No, I don't know if you could hear the cat. The cat wants to come in here. The cat cannot, because he might pee on everything. I think the best thing about this movie is the music, the main cast. So like, you know, Benicio del Toro or Anthony Hopkins, Emily Blunt, Hugo Weaving. I feel like they're like, you know, they're always great. You know, sometimes the script is kind of whatever, which that's a part of the worst thing, to be honest. But I feel like they do a pretty good job in, you know, what they got to do. Plus, Benicio del Toro almost looks so similar to Larry Talbot. Not to Larry Talbot, wow. He looks so similar to Lon Chaney Jr., who plays Lawrence in the original. So it's like, that's kind of funny that, like, they look similar like that. Anyway. And then, the atmosphere in some shots, or, like, the whole gothic nature of it. Like, it's not, it's like you could see it, but, like, you more clearly see it if the movie's in black and white. The whole gothic nature of it. But I still feel like there's still that nature in it, and there's still some atmospheric shots in it that are, like, really nice and really cool looking and whatnot. But, like, I mean, in the ending is effectively the original poster for the original movie, which I thought that was really cool, that they kind of played that poster in the last couple minutes of the movie, effectively. But anyway, but the worst thing about this movie is certain character choices, the CGI, and then the script kind of being weird. And it's like, I'm fine with the story of, like, there's, like, alright, in the original, Lawrence Talbot comes back because his brother died in a hunting accident. But in the remake, he comes back home because, well, his brother's gone missing, but ultimately his brother wasn't killed in a hunting accident. His brother was killed in a, you know, by a monster or like a beast or something. And he's investigating it to a degree anyway. So yeah, certain character choices, like, I feel like, there's a scene where there's a gypsy camp and then the werewolf, the werewolf that bites Lawrence, he, was, like, killing everyone there, but, like, the very first person, like, tears out a piece of his back, and, like, when you hear him, like, there's people behind him that are still looking at him, like, what's wrong? But, like, they should see what's wrong. So it's, like, that, or other kind of moments that are like, okay, I guess, or dialogue like, how does Lawrence Talbot know about Aberline? Like, how do you know about him, kind of thing. Like, I feel like he shouldn't know about him, but apparently he knows about him. And it's like, that was kind of weird that, like, you know, how I don't get how you know that. So there's that. I like the ending, but, like, if I were to say make a video of, like, a comparison between the original and the remake, I'd probably still have the original winning. And the original is, like, 30 minutes shorter. So, like, you have more time to say, do more character development, and you still sold, kind of thing. But, yeah, I mean, this is a really great movie. I would say watch the unrated version of it. I wouldn't really say watch the theatrical version of it, but, like, I mean, if you want to watch the difference between the two of them, then, you know, go ahead, right? But I would at least say watch it one time, either or. But I think you would like it, or at least find it enjoyable. And if you don't, then my apologies. I'm so sorry. Please like and comment your thoughts and opinions of the movie, and tell me how bad it was, and, you know, subscribe to the channel so that, you know, I can give you more terrible opinions. No, but, like, I mean, alright, sure. I really like it. I watched this movie when I was younger, and I still really like it. Kind of like how there's kids who watch the Star Wars prequels and still really love them, although, to be fair and honest, I think everyone loves the prequels now, because the movies that have come from Star Wars are kind of whatever. But, anyway, Um, I'm Sam, Flying Kite. This is the horror show. And I reviewed the 2010 The Wolfman. And I think you should watch it, unless you already have, and then, you could, comment down below what your thoughts are on the movie. This is a movie, well, not really this specific movie, but, like, if I were to make a comparison video between the two of them that's, like, dissecting the movies, I feel like I feel like I could make a really long video out of it. But, I don't want to make the video and then, like, no one's here to watch it, right? It'll be a long video and whatnot, and then no one watching. It's like... So that could have been something else. But I mean, maybe at some point I'll do it just for fun and, maybe reference it later on, and if I grow or start growing. But anyway, I will see y'all either this Sunday or next week sometime. Next Friday. I'm silly. Goodbye.